Hello!
Hello!
This is our LuLaRoe review. This is how LuLaRoe saved my life. It really saved both of our lives in a way.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were just kind of stuck in just kind of this little mire of just indecision and frustrations with our jobs and just kind of dead in the water.
Expectation.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I'm Ashley Hobson.
And I'm Dave.
And we are a husband-wife team. We have been selling LuLaRoe for just over 2.5 years now. We have 2 kids, a 3-year-old boy and a girl who's going to be 1 this week.
Who are actually napping, which is a miracle. So we're able to do this.
This is how we get work done.
Nap time.
But anyway, we started selling LuLaRoe after David was in a really bad car accident. Our son was about 6 months old, I think. He was around there.
Yeah.
And it was an accident. It totaled our car, and it was just like 2 blocks from our house. And I mean, he's lucky to be walking. He's lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
And it was really like miraculous because he didn't even have to stay in the hospital overnight. Like, it was a crazy thing. But like, it was just like, it was horrible. And it just kind of woke us up. Like, life is short.
Yeah, we didn't feel invincible anymore. We felt like, okay, things can happen. And we just kind of felt like we aren't doing anything to change our circumstance.
Yeah, we felt like we were just like, oh, you know, we're going to go through the motions. We're going to go through our plan. We have this plan and we have to stick to this plan and then we'll be able to live our dreams. And at the time, David was a realtor. He was selling houses, and I was a teacher. I taught kindergarten, and I loved my job. I loved it, but I did not like being away from our son. I did not like not being home with him. It was really hard, and he was just little, and David did not like his job.
Yes, and I wasn't good at it.
No, you were pretty good at it.
Well, the important thing is that I felt like I wasn't satisfied with my work, and it was just kind of dead end.
And that's what I kind of started feeling with teaching. I kind of started feeling that way, where it was like, I'm spending all this time with these other people's children who I love dearly. I love these kids so much, and I loved what I did, and I still love teaching. But my heart was at home with our son. And so after the accident, I was like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing these things that don't make us really happy? Like, and we can't really get to where we want to be doing what we're doing now. And, you know, because like if you do what you always have done, you'll get what you always have gotten, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever, however that goes.
The sentiment's the same.
But yeah, so like we talked about it a long time, and then we're like, you know what? Let's do LuLaRoe. And I mean, I had been wearing LuLaRoe like for 2 years before that, and fell in love with it and had thought about it, but you know, timing and whatever. But David's sister, she started it selling 6 months before, and before us, and we were thinking, you know, let's call her and see what we need to do to get going on that. And then she called us that day.
As weird as that is.
And she had just gotten done with an Inspire. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember which training it was, but it was a training, and she was like, you guys need to do this. Like, I just kept thinking about you the whole time, and we're like, that's so funny because we were going to call you. And so we got all taken care of. Like, we were waiting in the queue, waiting for our call, and then everything just fell into place.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is what we're meant to do. Like, we're meant to do this. And in our mind, it was like, this is what we're going to do so that we can work together, which is what we wanted, and that we can be home with our family and have the freedom to travel, the freedom to be together, the freedom to be our own bosses. And we're like, this is what we want. And how that happened was, so we got our inventory and we had our launch party, and it was a really fun party. It was so much fun, and so many people came, and they're like, what is this, what are you doing? And so we made more money in that 2-hour party than I made as a teacher in a month. And it was like, this could be something really amazing, like even more amazing than we thought, you know. And at the time I was teaching kindergarten. I was teaching, I got moved to another school the day before school started, and this had happened the year before and the year before that, and lots of really awful things. And also on top of that, I was dealing with postpartum depression. And I didn't realize that that's what was going on with me until like afterwards. Like I could see and be like, oh, that's what was happening. But I was in a really dark place. And then like when they moved me to a new school, it was like, that's it. I can't do this anymore. I just didn't really see a way out. That's like, I'm gonna be stuck in this forever. I'm gonna miss my kid's life, you know. Like I don't want to do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore. And it took David was on a trip with his dad and his brothers, and so I realized
how hard and how intense it was.
Home alone with our son, and it was like a week, and it just like took that trip for me to realize that I needed to do something to save my life, and because that's really how bad it got. And I mean, the only thing that like kept me here was that our son was sleeping in the other room, and I was like, okay, David, I need to do something else. And David's
I remember that night I said, well, let's do something, like let's immediately, as soon as I get back, we're done.
And he's like, I want you to be home, let's do LuLaRoe. Let's, like, at first it was like, this is just going to be a side thing. And no, he's like, let's do this, let's make it your job. And so I quit teaching, which was what I needed. It like saved my life. And I stopped teaching, and David took on a second job to kind of make it up while we like got our feet under us with LuLaRoe. And like a few months into LuLaRoe, we started building a team, and we just really like were seeing the impact that it was having in not only our lives, but the lives of our customers and the lives of our family members.
Yes.
And I mean, like our first customer, one of my best friends, she had tried on a Julia dress, and she was like, I feel so beautiful in this dress. I feel like a woman, and I don't know if I've ever felt like this in quotes. And so she like was super emotional. I was super emotional, and it was like, I see what people mean when they say they love helping women feel confident, and that it's amazing that when you're outside like looks good and you feel good in what you're wearing, like how that changes the inside.
You know, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because when you first started wearing LuLaRoe, like when you first got your first Lucy, like you wore it all the time, and you felt pretty, and you used to say, I mean, and I'm not saying she's down on herself, because that's not the way she is, but she was never one to be like, I'm beautiful, I look good. But when she started wearing LuLaRoe, that is when you started hearing those words come out of her a lot. And as a husband who believes, you know, she is gorgeous, and it's just like to have her see that she is pretty, and that she's more than just, you know, this, you know, just a mom, that she's also, you know, a beautiful woman, and you know, strong and confident. And she felt that. Mm-hmm. And when she felt that for the first time, it was, I mean, maybe not the first time, but certainly more succession. It was like, for me, it was like, yes, this is what we're doing.
Especially after having a baby, like yes. Your body is like so different. And I remember like going shopping like for the first time after having our son, and we were picking out clothes for family pictures, and I remember sitting in the dressing room bawling because nothing looked good, nothing felt good. I just didn't feel good in my clothes. And I had like a couple of LuLaRoe things that I'd worn during my pregnancy and stuff, but I was like, I don't know, like I hadn't like fully like committed, you know, to like a closet full of LuLaRoe. And so, and this was before we started selling. And so like when we started selling, like I wanted to keep everything. Because like every single thing.
That hasn't really changed though.
No. But like everything I put on, it's like, oh, this looks really good. I feel really good in it. And it's like this new confidence, and it's amazing. And so, so like the confidence that these clothes give, I mean, they're really magic. just magic. And I love that there's so many prints and colors and styles that can fit every body type, every personality type. And I mean, there's something for everyone.
Look at this, for instance. I would never worn this.
Yeah, when we got this in the box,
I was like, nope.
I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think David's ever going to wear that. That's not his style. He put it on and we're like, you need to keep that.
It's like one of my favorite shirts now. And I would have never done it myself. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's anybody. It's guys and gals.
And it changes like your mind about things. And like we have like our perceptions about like how we should look, how we should dress, what we should be. And that's kind of where we were stuck in before. And LuLaRoe kind of just like unlocked this idea that we could be more, that we could have
so
more.
True.
And it's like we can do something else. We can do something that's not expected. And so we did. And it's been
people around us were scared. They were like, what are you doing?
You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably still think we're crazy. I think we're crazy. But I mean, I feel like we are living the life that we want. And, you know,
crazy's doing the same thing over and over.
Exactly.
So
and expecting, you know, different
exactly.
results.
So I mean, us doing something unexpected is the least crazy thing we could have done.
It's true. So we just kind of we just jumped in with both feet, and you know, it's been hard. It's hard every day because it's a business.
Yeah.
And sure, we want to be doing more. We want to be doing better. We want to grow bigger. Like we want those things, but we're happy with where we are. We're happy with, you know, the freedom that it's given us, like financially, the freedom mostly to be together.
And that's something we couldn't have said before. And so it's a big difference.
And with our daughter, she was born last year, and I've been here for every single moment. And that's amazing to me. That's such an amazing blessing, an amazing gift. And I owe that to LuLaRoe, because if it wasn't for LuLaRoe and my ability to go and say, okay, you know, we have this that we need to pay, I'm going to go sell a few things.
And then
and there, you know, and I could just do that at
home.
And
what job
with
does that?
my baby, like holding my baby, I could do that. I can work while coloring with my toddler. Like it's an amazing ability. And, you know, and it's great because I have had this to keep me going over this last year, which has been it was a beautiful year because we, you know, had our baby growing up and getting all these really great milestones, and she's been such a blessing to our life.
And Henry learning to do so much and just be this little person.
Yeah, and it's been so great when we think about those things. But like again, after the birth of our daughter, I was and I still am dealing with postpartum depression, even more so than with Henry. I got to even darker places, and so having something that kept me grounded and like
in a community,
and
support.
more than just like, and my kids, they keep me grounded, and my husband and my family, like that is, you know, because they are my life, they are my everything. But like having something outside of that, but like part of it at the same time, like just like it's like a to-do list in a way. Like, okay, I'm gonna go make 5 outfits, and like having that, like, you know, 20 minutes of just doing something creative and doing something that I knew that with people would be like, that's beautiful, oh, I love this, and because it sparks joy in them and it sparked joy in me. And so I was like, okay, so that was like a little bit of, you know, something to get me through it. And having a community of women who have become our friends and our family, to really support, you know, and our customers and like other retailers. Like I've got to know so many people in our community, like local community. I've become friends with a lot of our local retailers, and we know friends like across the country, and that I consider friends. And even though we may never have met in person, like
they know us, they know our kids, they've seen them grow.
They've seen our kids grow up. Yeah. Like they, you know, like our daughter turns 1 this week, and they're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's been a year. That went by so fast. I remember when you just had her. And it's so cool to have that. My family moved around a lot growing up, and so I never really stayed in one place for very long. And so I didn't really have a lot of old friends. But I do now. Like I have friends that are close to us, even though they're really far away. But like these people who I know that if like,
well, if you need them, they're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Always. It doesn't matter what time of day she'll get on and say something.
It's more than, I'm your LuLaRoe retailer, you're my customer. Like, it's this like friendship that
it's always been more than that.
Always. And I love that with LuLaRoe, we are able to help women feel beautiful like they are, and help them have confidence in what they wear. And it kind of just, like I said before, like when you're outside, like looks good and you feel good like with what you're wearing or how you look, then like that can change the inside. I really believe that. Like, I know that what's inside it is what's most important, but like,
if you're having a bad day and feeling sick and you get all dressed up and you look good,
I have lived by that rule my whole life. Like,
anytime she's sick, she's not
or I'm
wallowing,
nervous about things or whatever, like I dress up. And it just makes you feel better. And so like being able to like give that gift to other people is really great. And then also like something that David and I really love, like we love spoiling people. We love gifts. We love giving gifts. That's one of our love languages.
Yes, it is.
We love to give gifts. And so I love to send leggings or a dress or a skirt or whatever to our customers and to people just randomly, because it's fun. And I love just like that excitement when they're like, I was not expecting this. I can't believe you sent me leggings.
Or if someone's having a bad day and we hear about it and then they had ordered something, we'll be like,
throw it in. And or like,
we never even got to do that before.
We've had some customers who have been, going through some really, really horrible, hard things, and being able to do fundraisers for them through LuLaRoe has been life-changing. We talk about, like, we've been teaching our son about buckets, like how we have this like imaginary bucket that we fill when we do good things for other people. We fill their bucket, we fill our bucket, and this is something that really fills our bucket. Just seeing like how excited people are to receive things, whether it's a surprise or something they bought, like seeing that joy like in their face, and like how they like sit up a little straighter. And,
or they'll also send us pictures of themselves, and they'll be like, look at this, and it's like a few days or weeks ago, some of them were just like, I don't look good in anything, but
and they'll say,
it.
I've never worn a dress. I don't wear dresses.
And then they'll take pictures and they'll be like, I want to show the world.
Yeah, and it's like, it's amazing. And it's amazing that we are able to give and we're able to help people where before we didn't have really the means or the vehicle, the opportunity to do that.
And
but
I think
now,
it's always been
now
part
we're
of
able
our
to seek out opportunities where it's like, let's do a fundraiser. And fundraisers have been one of our favorite things and most rewarding aspects of this business.
Seeing people come together. Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. But yeah, so I mean, to like bring it all together, LuLaRoe saved our life because it helped us get out of this little rut that we were in. Just this waiting game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, someday.
Someday's the worst.
We decided that we were just gonna take it and be like, okay, we're gonna make it happen, one way or another. And
sink or swim.
We've learned about hard work for ourselves. We learned about talents and
what we are able to take on.
Yeah, we didn't, I never would have thought that.
I can make a mean outfit.
He is so good at it. And
nowhere near as good as you.
That's something like I didn't even realize I was good at. And so when I first started doing like flat lays and stuff, I was like, wow, I'm good at this. And like to be able to say that, where before it's like, I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna boast about it. But no, like, guys, I'm good at making outfits. And because I love it. And it's easy to take these beautiful clothes and make them into something, and something that I know is going to make someone else feel great, even if that's me, because it ends up in my closet, which happens a lot.
Yes.
But anyway, our kids have seen the value of hard work, which has been helpful. Like our son, he recently is potty trained, and to see like that he can do something hard, and like how he's starting to like understand like, oh, mom's working really hard, dad's working really hard, like I can work hard, you know, and he's starting to be more responsible that way. And like understanding like we need to work if we want things, we need to work for it. You work hard and you get a reward for it, and like even if it's just,
and you know what, and my favorite thing about, one of my favorite things about LuLaRoe is that if you work for it, you get it. Whereas like other jobs, you can work and work and work and work, and your pay stays the same. But it's like if she puts in hours and hours and hours of work, 9 times out of 10 she's gonna get something out of it. Whereas if it's just one of those things. It's like you have control.
We control like how much we want to. Say we want to take a week off and go to Disneyland or Hawaii or whatever. Like we can do that. And I remember one trip to Disneyland. We actually, while the kids were napping and we were eating lunch, we were working.
Yeah.
And we were, and so it was this really amazing thing. Like before, like we couldn't do that kind of thing, but it's like I don't have to worry about this because like we have this, like we can do this. But anyway, it's been an amazing experience.
It really has.
We're excited for what the future holds for us. This journey has been hard and so unexpected and very, very rewarding. I never in a million years, though, would have thought that I would be selling clothes out of my home rather than teach. So that I get to do that and be home with my kids, like it's a dream. We are so grateful for Mark and Deanne and for their vision and for their courage to create this beautiful company to help strengthen families, because our family has been strengthened, and we're so thankful for home office and everybody who works so hard to make this company what it is. And
all the little people. I mean, it's a well-oiled machine now.
Yeah. And just like all like the retailers who all work together. And like what I love about LuLaRoe is even though we're all have our own business and stuff, like it's not a dog eat dog world or whatever, like we're all a team. And my mentor uses that all the time. She, our team mentor, she always says, together everyone achieves more, TEAM. And so I always think about that and about how LuLaRoe is like that, and it's a family and we work hard to lift each other. A rising tide lifts all ships, and it's really amazing, and it's been rewarding, and we're so grateful that LuLaRoe came into our lives with that beautiful coral lace Lucy skirt. That was the
that
start of it all.
That almost made you sign up that day.
Who would have thought? But anyways, thank you for watching and listening. And if you care to follow us on our LuLaRoe journey, our Facebook group is Pretty Nerdy Life and Style. And I'm Pretty Nerdy Life on Instagram because we are so nerdy.
And she's very pretty. That's my input on it.
But if you like fun games, because that's what we do, lots of themed parties and nerdy things and book clubs, come check us out. But thank you guys, and
goodbye.